Hello everyone, I'm the Man Goose. You are awesome. And if you were to look at me, you wouldn't think that guy loves anime. No, you would probably take a look at me out in the world and think that guy likes to use racial slurs in public. That's not true. And it's also not true that I don't like anime. I love anime. It's in my holy trinity of entertainment. I love video games, I love fantasy novels, and I love anime. And I'm not talking about like I watched a couple episodes of dubbed Dragon Ball Z once and thought it was cool. No, I'm like in the weeds with this shit. Like I'm watching like slice of life anime. Not many people like, you're a weeb when you're rooting for another season of The Flying Witch. That's what kind of weeb I am. That's how much I love anime. But anybody who loves anime as much as I do, anybody who takes the smallest step off of that beaten Dragon Ball Z Naruto path, you find that there's some tropes in anime that you kind of have to turn your head and ignore if you really want to enjoy it. Some of that is like lollies, like the hyper-sexualized 13-year-old girls. Like, I don't give a fuck if you say she's 3,000 years old. A little girl is a fucking little girl, and you don't... That's another topic for another video, maybe. One of the other tropes, though, is incest. And I'm talking like brother, sister, or mother, son, not stepmother and son, biological mother and son. It's not like cousins. Like, I'm from West Virginia. I can deal with cousins. Nothing says loving like fucking your cousin, but dating your sister? That's a no-no, mister. That kind of begs the question, is this indicative of Japanese culture, the incest thing, or is it just a subculture of the anime crowd? That's kind of what I want to know. That's what I looked into. That's what I'm going to try and find out. So if I've piqued your curiosity, then come along with me as I take a dive into animated incest. Ugh. Okay, so before we get into the real shit, I'll tell you my theory, which was wrong as usual. What I was thinking here was that it was just like a subset of the entire culture. Like if you did a Venn diagram of like anime fans, lolicons, and like incest weirdos, I'd imagine there would be quite a bit of overlap. And then these anime shows that use this trope are just, trying to capitalize on that, because the incest trope is usually a older brother or younger sister. So they kind of include lolicons with the incest weird shit. So it's a win-win for them. They get to corner a large portion of the anime fan market. That's what I thought, and I was wrong. Very wrong. Turns out it actually is somewhat indicative of the entire culture of Japan. Japan may very well be Earth's Alabama. That's Japanabama. Ugh. But it's worse than I thought. They attribute many modern medical problems among the Japanese people to the years and years of incest that went on. Incest was actually pretty common during feudal Japan. Like, if somebody's wife died, they would marry their daughter, and to just perpetuate the bloodline. Of course, that isn't just in Japan. I mean, just look at the British royal family. You could tell that something fucking went wrong there. But it has continued in Japan, and it continued in Japan well into the 20th century, even though it was kind of outlawed like in 18 something or other. It continued on, especially in rural areas. So now when World War II happened, though, and there was a lot of more Western influence into the country, it became very, very frowned upon, more so than it was back in the day. So what kind of happened is, with it being frowned upon, yet it being a common sexual thing that people wanted to kind of delve into, it became a fetish. So that's kind of what it is now, as a fetish. But it's even worse than that. It's mainly a mother and son thing, like not stepmother, biological mother and son. So Japanese men are basically a bunch of motherfuckers, like literal motherfuckers. The old saying doesn't apply. The motherfucker I may be, but the mothers I fucked ain't kin to me. That doesn't apply. They are kin to them. And it's this kind of weird perpetuating system where the fathers don't come home. So the mother's left home alone with the son, and a lot of the emotions that she would normally be giving to the father ends up going to the children. And then on top of that, the children have to be so focused on their studies. So the mom uses kind of the excuse that, I don't want my son to be focused on girls, so I'm going to blow him. That happens. It happens. Now, I should say right now, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the information I got is unattributed. Like, you can kind of follow it back and it has like papers and documents and stuff, but it's nothing that I can really sink my teeth into and say is absolutely real. However, I have an ace in a hole. I have a friend who was born and raised in Japan, and even though she left like 20 years ago, I was able to ask her about some of this stuff, and she said that it is a very real thing, the brother-sister thing and the mother-son thing. But yeah, so the mother kind of, it becomes more of an emotional attachment than a sexual thing. But the son is raised that way, and he's very, dependent on his mom. And when he actually does go out and tries to find a wife, he ends up looking for someone that's going to mother him. And then, so he looks for someone who's going to mother them. The woman doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to be a mother. She wants to be a wife. So the man ends up staying out at all hours of the night, going to these like hostess bars. And he gets his mothering from the hostess women at these bars, and then comes home really late. So the woman he marries ends up, taking her emotions and putting them into her children, and the cycle continues. Wow. I was blown away by this. Like, I really thought it was just a subset of the culture. I didn't know it was indicative of the entire fucking country. It really is Japan-Obama. That is absolutely bonkers. And a quick segue here. I know a lot of you are thinking, well, that's just their culture. You can't say that it's wrong. It's their culture. Who are you to judge? I damn well can judge another culture. I can judge their beliefs all the fuck I want to. There's cultures out there that oppress the shit out of women. I can say that that's wrong. I can look at that through the lens of my life experiences and decide that I think it's wrong and say that it's wrong. Would I go to Japan and be like, hey, motherfuckers? Well, I might say that, but, I wouldn't mean it in the way that we're talking about right here, but because that's the kind of guy I am. But I wouldn't go over there and like make a big deal out of it. That would be wrong of me, but I can be like, what are you guys doing? Kind of fucked up. I just wouldn't bring it up in conversation because that would be rude. But yes, you can think that another culture's beliefs are incorrect. That nothing wrong with that, okay? So that's it, folks. I was really shocked by this one. It turns out that the incest in anime is due to a cultural dirty little secret that has somewhat turned into a fetish that is being explored through anime and manga. So if you like this video, as always, you're fucking weird. This is the Man Goose signing off. You guys have a good one. Man Goose!